Lynette Mwende, she's from Take Africa Project. If I'm not wrong, from AVIC. Now, let's just, Lynette Mwende is the project manager for Tech Africa, but under the AVIC company.
Yes.
Yes. Now, Lynette, let's just start by you telling us about the Africa Tech and the AVIC technology company as well.
Okay. So Africa Tech Challenge is a CSR initiative by AVIC International, which is a Chinese state-owned company.
Okay.
So in terms of technology, we do have this project in Westlands. It's called the Nairobi Global Trade Center. And right now what we're doing is we're empowering both men and women to be able to get construction-based training on the construction site so that they can be able to learn which is the newest technology being used in construction, and we can be able to also upgrade their skills in how they also, you know, be able to translate into construction workers and even just masons. So that's what AVIC is doing.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that, so you're dealing with particularly construction workers?
Yes.
For this particular
for
thing.
this particular project.
Okay, now, before we we delve deeper into the construction working and the project and that particular project, Kenyan youth pitch technology mostly when there is a competition, but we never see those skills or this technology going anywhere. There's always a company coming in, and most of the times it's from the Western world. Yeah, there's always a company coming in, and then they pitch their idea to them, and then you see this group of Kenyans, and most of them who are usually very young. You see the group of Kenyans, young Kenyans, who've come up with the idea for the technology and the company. And sometimes it's even an application for a phone.
Yes.
They're given money, and that's it. Yes, they want the money, but we never see the company going so far. What happens?
I agree. I think there's lack of sustainability and continuity of this kind of youth projects. And I think also that means there's a problem with the link to the market, to the industry. For example, when you see young people who have this talent, you know, being tech savvy and being able even to develop apps, I believe there's need for even the industry to create more initiatives to absorb them even after they've been able to pitch to investors, because I believe there's only so much an investor can do, right? As you said, they give them some cash prizes or maybe startup capital, but then after that we barely hear about the rest of the young people. So I feel like that is an opportunity for even sometimes the private sector to become very active and play an active role, to be able to even, you know, have one of these Silicon Valleys here where we can now bring this majority of the youth that maybe don't have an investor to be able to continue developing their apps with the hope of other, you know, companies or players in the industry absorbing them into their either farms or even into their own, you know, factories or manufacturing sector.
All right, we'll come back and I'll need you to tell me what AVIC and Tech Africa is doing to fight such challenges. But what's Africa's technology potential?
I believe our potential right now is huge. You can see that we have many multinationals coming into Africa to invest. That already tells you there's a ready market here. But I believe our human resources needs to, you know, we need to build capacity, especially for the young demographic that, you know, Africa being the youngest continent. I believe the potential lies in our human resources. So I feel like we really need to put more emphasis in training our youth to, you know, stand out and become the next, you know, tech, you know, and just come up with the big apps that you're seeing right now. Many young people coming up with, you know, Snapchat and all of these youth created initiatives. I believe Africa has the potential also to come up with the same, only that we need to really invest in our human resources and build capacity in the youth.
Okay, so apart from human resource and lack of training, what other obstacles would you say the technology industry is facing when it comes to not only Africa but Kenya as a country?
I really believe in terms of as I said, there's this gap, whereas the labor market has this demand that we're not able to supply. That disconnect, I believe, hasn't been addressed, especially in Kenya. So you find that, yes, there's demand for, you know, technology-driven projects, but then do we have the supply? That's my biggest, I think, issue when it comes to Kenya. And I believe that that means the young people, there's such a huge unemployment rate right now. Why are they still unemployed? Maybe we do need to move from rote learning to more practical learning, equip these young people with the skills that the labor market actually demands, not what we believe that, you know, there are many jobs that we're training them for that the labor market doesn't want. So let's train for what is in demand. Yes.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because now we have the Kenyan government changing the curriculum from 844 to 2663, and they say it's going to be more skillful, and maybe it will see more of the youth and the students that are coming out of school venture into matters technology. And what technology should be developed in Kenya or Africa? What technology would you suggest? And sitting as a person who's been in the technological industry for quite some time.
Okay, I think we can go into different sectors where we do need to advance our technology, but let me bring it back to construction because of the Africa Tech Challenge right now, where we're doing a construction-based training. I believe there's a lot of advancement in construction, and I think AVIC International has been at the forefront supporting you know, the use of current technology in our construction sites, and you would see Kenya has really sought international partners and firms who are bringing in new technology. You'll find that we have this glass fiber reinforced concrete. It's a technology that at the moment you'll find that not many firms have really been able to adopt it because of obviously with technology comes the implication of cost. But I believe this is an area where we really need to maybe improve and look at how we can actually be able to maybe bring down the cost of some of these things so that we can be able to adopt very new technology out there. And I think construction is where I'd want to start off with.
Okay, and as say I was part of the one of the people who was under the AVIC Africa Tech Challenge project.
Yes.
What am I sad to see after the whole challenge?
After the challenge, you are able to see young people who've been absorbed by the industry, and that means you've not only trained them and left them. As you said, there are many young people who are trained or even they pitch their apps, but then that's about it. We are going further to absorb them back in our projects, give them jobs so that they can be able to implement what they've been trained on. They can be able to now use those skills to even work on projects and actually bring some change and transformation or development in the country.
And how long is the project?
So the project lasts for 4 months, and we were able to complete the training in December. So what we did is we trained more than 100 young people from all over Kenya. And after that, we were able to do an elimination based on, you know, how they've been able to master the skills. And what can I say, the motivation or the incentive was we will give them jobs after training. So right now as we speak, we have the 25 most outstanding participants on the construction site working. So that already goes a long way to show the youth come, get trained in skills, and then after that you will get absorbed, you'll get a job. Because I believe the young people really are you know, facing that challenge of after training, after school, what happens next?
No matter how good you are, it's quite hard to get a job.
Exactly. So we are really absorbing the young people. And also you can see the government through the Ministry of Youth is really creating a lot of initiative for young people to get training and employment.
All right.
Yes.
And what criteria do you follow when you're picking up the different contestants?
So we actually look if they have some basic skill. So in this instance, we were training in 3 disciplines. So we're doing steel works, we're doing bricklaying, and we're doing carpentry. So those are the skills we're training on this time. So we just look at who has the basic skill, because we are only trying to upgrade them to, you know, professional abilities for you to continue and actually be a professional mason or carpenter. So we actually just have a very basic criteria just so that we can also encourage many young people to join the challenge.
So now currently you're done with the challenge?
Yes.
And you already have your chosen 25 who are working in different construction sites and farms.
Yes.
As I believe.
Yes.
So when is the next intake, in case our viewers or if there's anyone who's interested would like to join?
So this is just the completion of season 4, and we're gearing up for season 5, which will be able to take place mid this year, so that we can even train more people. we're really big on social media because you find the young people, you know, there's an online community there where they're able to tell you, you know, we need training in this. Because since 2014, we've actually changed our training. We've done training in lathe machine. Now we're moving to masonry. So right now we're going to go back to social media, talk to the young people. What would you want to, you know, be trained on? Or let's see how we can even make this CSR program bigger and more beneficial.
Is that how you guys found the loophole and got into construction? Do you actually have a conversation with the youth out there and then you decided, okay, fine, the youth are saying they need help in this, and that's how?
Not really. AVIC has been in Kenya for more than 20 years, and we've been doing vocational training together with the Ministry of Education. So the TVET project has been ongoing since the year 2010. But then the construction has been, because the company is a diversified global group, so we've also diversified our projects, and what we're doing right now is doing a lot of community relations in each project. So TVET, we find young people and ask them, maybe, do you need jobs, do you need training? So we're able to interact with the community directly and see what is their need and meet them at their point of their need. So with our construction, as I said, we have the Nairobi Global Trade Center coming up in Westlands. So it's a huge construction site. What would be the best way to transfer knowledge? Through the development of skills among the youth. So we actually look at how we can really benefit our young people in each project differently.
Okay. Now, and according to you, in reality, like real, how do you see, or rather, what would you say the results have been so far?
I honestly, as you said, reality check, the results have been really good because initially I think the young people had not used their voice, especially on social media, to talk about skills development. Right now when you go to social media, you find the young people talking about unemployment. They talk about these things that even 2 years ago, maybe it wasn't really much of a topic on social media, on Twitter. So I really believe our progress has been better than even our past years, and that means that I really feel that reality speaking, then we're getting better.
All right. Well, that's quite something right there. Learning a lot about technology. And my last question to you, Nanette, do you think there's misuse of technology?
Misuse of technology in terms of,
especially with our youth.
I mean, I don't think the word would be misuse. Maybe we can say the youth do not have maybe proper guidance when it comes to technology, and that comes with maybe we need to put in some recreational halls in Nairobi, in the city, because you find that with technology, they don't know how to tap into it and, you know, make the most out of it. And that just comes from maybe lack of guidance. And I feel that we need to have some ICT hubs and put them all over. We have 47 counties that actually need youth ICT hubs. And with that, we can have some tutors and people who can even show these young people how to garner their energy and actually make the most out of technology.